Hey guys, my name is Ethan, this is Carberra. Welcome to series where I teach you how to build Discord.py for your server. Today, we're talking about getting user and guild information from the bot. So let's get into it. We're going to create a new cog today, as we always seem to do in videos nowadays. We're going to call it, I don't know, info.py I suppose. And we're literally just going to go into a random cog and copy and paste everything in. Because, let's see, we can get rid of all this. Fantastic. So this is now our info cog. You don't need to type it out every time. It's fine. So yeah, this is our info cog. We probably don't need to have permissions actually. And we're going to create two separate commands of this. So we're going to create a command. Let me just move all my computer and stuff out the way because the mic is really close right now. Command name equals user info. And we're going to have aliases as UI. And async def user info self text. We'll leave the parameters for now. We'll come back to parameters, but server info. We'll just do this for now. Aliases equals, and then we'll have a number of aliases here. So we'll have guild info in case people refer to it as guilds. SI and GI, async def server info. I know the API. Oh, maybe I should do it as as a guild, but I really can't be asked. So these are the only two commands we're actually going to need. Now each of these commands are going to output different sets of information. The user info is going to be more like a member info command because users and members are quite different in the amount of stuff they actually do, and we're going to be using a lot of member only attributes, so it's really member info, just everyone calls it user info. I suppose you could have like a member info and then a mi aliases. There we go, that works. And then the server info is just of course going to be getting information about our server. So I've selected the attributes that we're going to be showing off here. However, if you want to see the full list of ones you can get, you can come over here to the Discord API docs and go into the member object and pretty much just use any of these. All of these do different things. You can read the descriptions and see if you want them in there. We're not going to be doing all of these because we'll be here literally forever. You can do that. You can also do the same thing for guilds. A guild is the one above it. You have all these other things as well. There are a million things in guild. There's a lot, but we're going to be focusing on, for users, their ID, their username and discriminator, whether or not they're a bot, their top role, their status, the date their account was created, the date they joined the server, whether or not they have Discord Nitro, and whether or not they have boosted the server. I feel that was a good mix of information. Obviously we don't need everything, and I feel that's kind of the most important stuff. And for guilds, we're going to be getting the ID, the owner name, the guild region, the date the guild was created, the number of members, the number of which human, the number of which bot, the number of band members, all the status information, the number of text channels, the number of voice channels, the number of categories, the number of roles, and the number of invites. Which is quite a lot, but that's just what I have in the plan. Whether or not I end up doing that, I don't know. So yeah, the easiest way of doing that is just pretty much to just get the information, just make an embed and put it in. So we are actually going to need from Discord import embed, and then we're going to have our embed, which equals embed. The title is going to be, I don't know, user information. The description, I don't know if we're going to have one really. Well, we've got a username in. Oh, we'll leave the description for now. We'll come back to it. Well, actually, we will go over the parameters now because I think that's quite important. I was going to do everything for us, and then I thought it's probably better we do parameters. So we can have a third parameter, so we can make our third parameter perhaps target, for example, and we can make that an optional. Optional member. There we go. If I can actually type, goodness gracious me. So we need to go from here and from typing import optional. Now what this optional does is it technically creates a union of member and none, which is kind of easy to explain. So essentially what this will do is it will set target to, it will try and convert your argument to a member. So if you pass an ID, it will try and convert that to a member. If you pass a mention string, it will try and convert it. If you pass their name, it is case sensitive, try and convert it to a member. If it can't convert any of that to a member, it will simply set target to none, is basically what that does. And if it can convert it, then target is now of type member, so you don't need to do any manual conversions or anything. It's automatically done for you, provided of course that you import member into Discord as well. But yeah, so actually we need a different line here. So we need our target, and we can set it to target if target or ctx.author. So basically if target is none, it sets it to you. So if you want information yourself, all you have to do is type the prefix and user info and it will do it for you. So color equals target.color and timestamp equals datetime.utc now, and of course we've got to go and get datetime. Datetime import datetime. There we go. Cool. So now I have a base embed. Right, okay, I go back in time. This technically isn't editing me, this is still recording me, but I realised I forgot to add something before, which I'm going to add now. So if you do say embed.set thumbnail URL equals target.author .avatar URL, you will get the thumbnail, or the thumbnail will be, if we just quickly do a send, you have the thumbnail. We're going to get a few spoilers. These are spoilers. Well, I've already told you I'm going to get all these things. So if you do UI now, we should get our author. Oh yeah, target author. We don't have that. It's target. It's just target. And we'll get the avatar URL of the person that we want to get information from. So as you can see, there's mine. If we've got information for someone else, say you, then you get the icon of that. You can do the same thing for guild icons as well. So when we get to the guild, all you need to do is embed.set thumbnail URL equals ctx.guild.icon URL instead of avatar URL, and it will output. It will set the guild's icon URL as a thumbnail. So yeah, I'm gonna hand back to old me that didn't do all this stuff yet. Now we really just need our fields. So we can have fields equals, and then of course it's a list of tuples, not a tuple of lists. Of course our fields go name, value, inline. So we have our field header, field value, and whether or not the embed is inline. So we can kind of just add all our information here. So the ID is going to be the first one. The ID is going to be on a line of its own because the ID is quite long. So we're going to have that ID, and then we're going to have target.id, and an inline false because we don't want it to share a line. Come down here, make our next thing, which is going to be our member's username. So username, or it can be like name or something. We can have, actually string target will work. String target will display, so say for me it would display Parafoxia 1911, or actually in the Carberra survey it would actually display Carberra 1911, because I believe it uses, I'm pretty sure it uses the display name. We'll see actually, because I don't know. You might have to go in and change that. If we do, we do. If we don't, we don't. That's also capital F for false. And this one we do want to be inline. And then we kind of just go down the list and add stuff really. So if I remember as a bot, we access target.bot. For the top role, we simply get target.toprole.mention, and this will add a little mention string. It won't actually mention the role because it's in an embed, but it'll add the mention string. We'll have that as true. We'll work out the aesthetics of how everything's going to be laid out a little later. Right now we're just kind of adding all the information in. So status is the member status. So for example, right now I'm DND because I'm recording, and I always set myself on DND when I'm recording. So we could do target.status. We actually need to do string target.status, and then .title because it normally returns it all lowercase, so title will just capitalize the first letter, and then we can set that as true, I suppose. We can also do the activity. I wasn't actually going to do the activity, but what the hell ever, might as well. Straight, I believe it'll be an F string. It's activities are really awkward. So it would be target.activity.name, and then this is really awkward. No, it would be get attra. I actually found a new way of doing this quite recently. Target.activity type, and then we need the string of that, and then we need .title, just to make it look a bit nicer. So this will output. So say the only fallacy is that if the activity type is custom, it will put custom. But say for this one, it will say custom recording. For S4, it will say it would just have watching 17 servers and 2003 users. For tutorial bot, I have watching covers, videos, etc., etc. So you can make it look a bit nicer if you wish. We're just going to leave it at that because we're, as I said, just do with basics. The create on could be, so say, I forget how this works. Oh no, I know how it works. So target.created, I think it's created, no, it's created at, isn't it? Not created on. I always get confused in that because it should really be created on, but never mind. Target.string string format time, which can be used to output the in a human readable time format, and we're just going to do it in short date and time. So we're going to do I think this is right. Shut up, Jimmy. I don't need to watch your video right now. I'm recording. And then so that should output the short date and then the time. If you're in America, obviously you'd swap the M and D around, but I'm not, so I'm not going to do that. We also need to set an inline for this, so we'll set that for true for now. We'll just set them all true and see how horrible it looks, and then maybe redo it. So join that is very similar. We pretty much just need the same things. Just instead of created at, it's joined at. What else have we got? Nitro. This is where it gets a little bit interesting because you think it would just be target.nitro, right? Wrong. It's, I actually don't remember. It's something weird. Yeah, so it's not even a boolean. So you would really want to do like, I guess true if target.premium since else false, I suppose. We could actually, you could probably just do like, you probably wouldn't even need that. You could probably just do ball target.premium since, and that will tell you if they are premium or not. If you want to output how long they've been premium for, no, that's the wrong one. Apologies. That is actually that's if they've boosted or not. Sorry about that. And then that's true. So this will actually say if they have boosted the server. Target.premium since is actually a datetime object. So you can use the same method for like create that and join that to do that. But because this will return none if they haven't boosted the server, you can just do bool. I think bool none equals false. Let me just quickly look at that. Check that. Bool none does equal false, so yes, that will work. And then the actual nitro, I honestly don't know. Right, okay, so I've had a look through the API, and apparently there just isn't any way of telling if a member has a nitro subscription or not, which is interesting. I don't know if I'm being blind or stupid, but I genuinely cannot see anything in the documentation. So if anyone does know of a way, then let me know. But I really don't know. For now, we're just going to do for name value inline in fields embed.add field name equals name, value equals value, inline equals inline, and then await ctx.send, it's not sned or sened, embed equals embed, and we are going to see if that works. There's probably going to be some sort of error. What does appear to be running though, which is nice. There we go, it does actually work. We're just going to do our testing here. So user info. Nope, something went wrong. Has no actual. I spelled activity wrong. How embarrassing. Close that one as well because we don't need that. Where did I? Oh, of course, yeah, that was. Oh, I spelled it wrong twice because I just used the autocomplete. I spelled it wrong again. Oh dear. Right, that should work. I've actually just had a thought. I think my way of doing the attribute name must be a string. Oh yeah. Yeah, this has to be a string, not just that. I forgot how the get attrib thing worked. I was thinking that might not even end up working. Oh, because of course it's an F string as well. My God, why does this activity thing have to be so hard? Like they could have. Like I honestly have enormous complaints about this activity system. It's dreadful. There we go. Yeah, that's okay. That is still broken. That's annoying. Okay, so this solution wasn't even right. But you can see here it does activity type dot even if you do a string, which is kind of annoying. I just realised I put it the wrong way around as well, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so you still need to do. You might as well just do dot type. I'm sure I've had some sort of solution to this, but perhaps not. Dot and then the last element of that, and then that dot title, and then that should work. It doesn't because of F strings again. Oh, God. Sometimes I could murder F strings so hard. I know it's entirely my fault, but I know I could do it. There we go. So yeah, that is horrendously formatted at the moment. But you can see we have our ID, our name. We could probably put our ID somewhere here. We could probably put the ID on this line and everything would work. So we have our ID, we have our name, we have our whether or not we're a bot, we have our top row, our status, our activity. You can see it says custom recording. Created on the 30th of November 2017 at 3:01 in the afternoon. This is in UTC time, by the way. Joined on the 26th of September, that's when the server was made. And I haven't boosted the server because I don't have Discord Nitro. And we're actually going to do that, and then we're probably going to move these around and see if we can make it look just a little bit better. Because ultimately I want these videos to... I want the bot to be exactly how it worked in the video, so I want it to look nice now, so I don't change it later. No, it looks better. It'll probably cause some issues on smaller screens, but it looks fine. So yeah, and now we can get user info, say for our test account. If our test account is even here, it's not. Fantastic. Let's get some user info on our bot here. Nope, that did not work because we passed in the role, not the thing. Carberra, we actually need to pass the member. Why is that happening with bots? Why is it when I mention a bot it mentions the role, not the member? I don't understand what's going on here. Okay. I'm just gonna get the ID and show you that works. That you don't need to mention people. Oh no, apparently you do need to mention people. Oh, because activity is none, isn't it? We never accounted for that. You see what I mean about the activity? It's just really, really annoying. It just needs to be this huge comparison thing. If else, I don't know, NA, and then like the same thing here again. If target activity else, just empty. I don't know if there's a better way of doing it. You could probably make some sort of function to do it, I suppose, but it's like, ugh. Actually getting the activity in the Discord API is horrible. And user info. Forgot we haven't actually set an activity for this yet. There we go, so activity NA, and then we have all our bot information. So Carberra 8617, the ID bot equals true. Top right is Carberra, status is online, activity, blah blah blah. It's created on 6th of April, and all that jazz. And of course, it hasn't boosted the server. So that is some user information. That's some basic user info. Of course, there is more. Some of it is all asynchronous. Some of it is just really awkward to get. If you're going for more information than that, but that's all I'm going to do for now because we've been going at this for 23 minutes. My God, I might have to speed things up a bit. So the guild information is more or less the same. The only difference is that you don't need this line because we don't pass anything in. So you have server information. You can have target.owner.color. Oh, that would be ctx.guild.owner.color. There we go. Just add a little bit of a spin to it. We'll get rid of these fields and we'll make new ones. Okay, so what I'll probably do is, because this video is getting quite long, I will type all this information in and then I'll explain it afterwards. So I'll see you in a small tick. Right, okay, it's been quite a while, but I've finally got all the fields in. I will go quickly go through and explain these, but let's just say I'm really glad I didn't do this on video. So the ID, owner, and region are fairly self-explanatory. Created that we've dealt with before, it's just the same as the user one. Members is just the length of the guild, the number of members in the guild. So ctx.guild.members is a list of all the members in the guild, and we're just getting the length of it. Now it goes the same with text channels. This is just a list, this is just a list, and this is just a list, and this is just a list, and we're just getting a length of all of them and outputting them. The band members it's an await function rather than a list, but it works out roughly the same, and we just get a length of them. Invites are the same as the bands, and then we get into the more complicated stuff, like working out how many humans are in the server versus working out how many bots are in the server. There are a number of ways of doing this. I think in my old tutorial series I did a different way. This is technically a better way because we're using lambda functions. So what this is doing is we're getting the list. Actually, I'll go this way. So we are filtering ctx.guild.members using this little bit of code here. Now basically this returns true if the member is not a bot. That's all you really need to know, because I'm not going to explain lambdas right now. So yeah, if you want to just copy this, because you end up with a filter object and you can't get length of that, so you need to convert it to a list and then get length of the list, and it's just a nightmare. Same with bots, it's just the other way around. It's basically going through and creating a list of all the members that are or are not bots, depending on which thing they are, one by one, and then getting a length of them, basically. And the same here with the statuses. I've done it all up here. I use the string m.status because m.status.online and stuff doesn't really work in my experience, so I just did it like that. That's just the way I've always done it. And then I've put here statuses. These are green, orange, red, and white circles respectively, I promise. You can just do it like that. To get those, I did do a test to make sure it would definitely work before I did it. I quote. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So if you do a backslash before, so you have like white circle or something. If you get a backslash, if you put a backslash before it, it will then change to white circle, and then you hit enter, and then it will give you a white circle emoji that you can copy and paste in. This, as you can see above, will now work, and it will return all our server information. So our server has an ID of this. I am the owner, of course. We are a European server. It was created on the 26th of September. It has 133 members, 113 of which are human. We had to ban 3 people, 36 online, 16 idle, 24 D&D, and 57 offline right now. We have 41 text channels, 7 voice channels, 9 categories, 41 roles, and 3 invite links. So that is basically a rundown. I was going to say a small rundown, but it really not, of how to get user and server information in your server. If you like the video, then say hello down below. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below as well, or join a Discord server using the link in the description. If you really like the video, then consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And if you really like the video, then consider supporting me on Patreon. You don't have to, but it would be a really cool thing of you to do. Next time we're talking about kicking members, banning members, and clearing messages, and we're doing stuff with all sorts of like case logs as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I'll see you then.